What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and today we have a lot to talk about in regards to the Avengers, and not just the next Avengers film, but the next two Avengers films that we're going to be getting before Avengers Secret Wars. One of those, of course, is Avengers 5, which was formerly, of course, Avengers Kang Dynasty, now simply titled Avengers 5 until a new title gets released. However, we might have a tiny bit of news on that front. It's more of a speculated rumor at this point in time, but an insider could have hinted at the possible new title for Avengers 5. We also have rumored details about what the plot of the film was or possibly is going to be, depending if Marvel Studios changes it. But from what we've heard, Marvel Studios doesn't plan to change too much, and that Kang is still going to be the main big bad of the multiverse saga, which I have to say that I agree with that decision because Kang has already been set up in too many ways at this point in time. And unfortunately, whether you believe Jonathan Majors was innocent or guilty despite him being found guilty, and whether you believe he should come back or not, it looks like Marvel Studios is not going to bring him back, which means they should just recast the character and move on. They shouldn't get rid of the character altogether, but according to several insiders, Kang is still the villain of the multiverse saga. We are not diving into a new main big bad, which again, I think is the right move because too much has been set up focusing on Kang. But let's talk about this. We'll call it a plot leak for Avengers Kang Dynasty and some other Avengers news as well. And if you want to stay up to date on the MCU and all of the Avengers teams, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. We're also doing a big giveaway, more on that at the end. So a few rumors flying around this morning on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, and one is about Jeff Loveness being fired from Avengers the Kang Dynasty. And I'm mentioning this because Marvel Studios has recently been nominated for an award that they have never been nominated for before, and it's not a great award, and it's connected to the Kang Dynasty. Now, Jeff Loveness was supposed to write Avengers the Kang Dynasty, but he also already wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which has gotten a lot of flack, a lot of criticism, and in my opinion, some unnecessary hate. Not saying it was great, but geez. But according to some rumors going around right now, Jeff Loveness was supposedly fired from Avengers the Kang Dynasty after the negative reactions from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And now it's been revealed that Ant-Man and the Wasp has been nominated for 3 different Razzie Awards. And if you're not aware of what the Razzie Awards are, they are basically the worst of awards. And Marvel Studios themselves have never been even put up for this. Morbius has, and other things like 20th Century Fox's Fantastic Four have, but never anything from Marvel Studios. They have been put up for the worst supporting actor, including Michael Douglas and newcomer Bill Murray, worst director for Peyton Reed, and unfortunately, worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel category. Again, not really sure it deserves all of that, but that goes hand in hand with Marvel Studios firing Jeff Loveness from the Kang Dynasty because of all the negative reactions that Quantumania received. But with this news also comes rumors of what the plot for his Avengers film was going to be for the Kang Dynasty. According to the rumors, Kang Dynasty was reportedly going to gather all the leads of the multiverse saga except for Thor to fight against Kang variants on Earth. The film would have felt grounded and not involved too many multiversal elements. And in my opinion, I think a lot of people would have probably liked that. Now, this could very well still happen. The only question is, will Marvel Studios still include Kang the Conqueror in this film? Because a couple of different insiders recently have been hinting that the new Avengers film, Avengers 5, could simply be titled The New Avengers, which makes sense and is very fitting because right now we don't really have an Avengers team, so this would be the new Avengers team. The old Avengers team is done. Captain America's on the moon, Iron Man and Black Widow are no longer here, Thor is apparently not going to be in the next Avengers film, and the Hulk might be a part of the new team, but we do have She-Hulk, and Professor Hulk is not really the same Hulk that we knew from the beginning. Plus, we'll have a new leader with Sam Wilson's Captain America, and the team will mostly be newcomers. So the New Avengers is a pretty fitting title. Now, as far as them fighting Kang variants on Earth, well, Quantumania did set that up, especially at the end where Ant-Man is asking himself, did he actually save everybody or did he doom everybody? Ant-Man has been reported to be a part of the New Avengers team, along with the Wasp, and this makes sense because of everything they just dealt with Kang. And again, I think with everything Marvel Studios has done, they're in a little bit too deep to kind of push away from Kang. And since the next Avengers film isn't going to be out for a few years, they have time to figure everything out with recasting Kang and how they're going to move forward, to where I think that even if they do decide to rename the next Avengers film the New Avengers, Kang is still going to be a part of it because the multiverse is still going to be falling apart and incursions are going to be happening because of Kang and all of his variants. And we know that in the next Avengers film, the Avengers are probably going to lose. So having them go up against Kang variants is probably what's going to make them lose. So even though Jeff Loveness might not be writing the next Avengers film, I do think it's going to be somewhat like this. I still think it's going to be a very grounded film. I do think it's going to have most of the leads, not all of them. I know Thor's not going to be there. We still don't know about the Scarlet Witch, and I don't think Doctor Strange is going to be there as well. Because according to Alex P. from the Cosmic Circus, the Avengers won't have Doctor Strange, and that is why they lose. So whoever the Avengers are going up against with the New Avengers team, they lose. And that sets up Secret Wars, and that sets up the multiversal Avengers team because the Avengers know they're going to need people, heroes, from everywhere. But like I mentioned, there is another Avengers team coming, and that is the Young Avengers. According to the account Great Phase, the Young Avengers project is actively in development at Marvel Studios with a potential release date as early as 2026. Now this comes as little to no surprise because the Marvels set this up very blatantly and obviously. We had Miss Marvel go to Kate Bishop, where we basically saw the start of the Young Avengers. They even mentioned Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie Lang. So right off the bat, we have 3 Young Avengers: Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, and Cassie Lang. Now it's interesting, according to insiders, the Young Avengers project was formerly Vision Quest, the Disney Plus series that Marvel Studios was developing. Now this project was rumored early on to set up the Young Avengers, so it would make sense that Marvel Studios would simply just change it into a Young Avengers film. They probably realized that that might be a little bit more appealing than a Vision Quest show, especially since Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have pretty much decided they're not going to make something unless they think it's going to be very good. And it's been pretty evident recently that Marvel Studios and Disney really are changing things over at Disney and Marvel Studios. This would also line up with the firing of Jeff Loveness off of Avengers Kang Dynasty. In their eyes, Quantumania wasn't received very well, it didn't perform very well, so they don't want the same thing to happen with their next project, especially when it's a huge project like the Avengers. Now it's unfortunate that they fired Jeff Loveness because I think that the connectivity is a good thing with the MCU, and since he wrote Quantumania with Kang in it, the New Avengers film could have turned out pretty well. However, Marvel Studios wants to make sure that it's great, which of course I always support. We'll always support them trying to make the best possible movie and show, if it's a show, they possibly can, especially with so many upcoming exciting projects. But let me know what you think about this news in the comments down below. Is this what you would like the plot for Kang Dynasty, Avengers 5, New Avengers, whatever you want to call it, to be? Would you like this movie? Let us know down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on the MCU. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick one winner at the end of every month. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.